Alright guys, welcome to the scheme of the week, and this is going to be the one I've really wanted to do for a while now. This is the 4-4 defense, and actually it's going to be more than just the 4-4. Let me get set up real quick. Let me get these quick pad links on. And a lot of people, I played a game with Z, I think he posted it, and we were going over kind of it's kind of just been a game where I went over what I did from the 4-4 and what I do from other plays. And today I'm just going to cover it, and I'm going to cover just the 4-4 today. And then in a separate video I've covered the 4-3 stack. In a separate video I've covered the 4-3 under. And in another separate video I've covered the 4-3 over. And actually, no, I haven't covered the 4-3 over, so I need to get that done. So in another video, I will post this 4-3 over formation. S. Gibbs from MaddenTips.com did a breakdown on the 4-3 over plus formation. So I'm not gonna mess with it really. I do use it though. I'll just be very blank and clear. Your quick audible from this 4-3 over plus is phenomenal, and you can basically come on any play other than any play and get to the main play, which is going to be the cover 2 sink. So you could do that. Just know that you could come out in over plus, you could come out in 4-3 stack, or over plus. I'm going to show it coming out in 4-3 stack, and that's very important for this defense, because if you don't do that, then you're going to have bad matchups. But we'll get the cover 3 in there too. So for the 4, if I was running 4-4 just straight, which I do consider doing, I would suggest actually maybe even trying this with the Cowboys, running a straight 4-4 defense, and you know, you have the 2 deep and the cover 3 and you're quick, so you wouldn't have to have them, and you could basically just run with these 3 audibles and then a couple other ones. Just know that you don't want to go into any other formation if you come out in 4-4, because you have a linebacker at safety. So, but we come out in 4-3 stack. Your strong safety goes to the linebacker position in the 4-4, and that's why I recommend, if you're running with Dallas, or if you're running with teams who don't have good zone covering linebackers, or not linebackers but safeties, then run this 4-4 scheme. And when you see Barry Church, the dude's a monster in terms of Madden gem, if you will. Even catches decently. I personally like Sensible because of his jumping and his catch and his strength, but I'll show you why you could also like Church. They're both Madden gems in my opinion, and the main reason is the hip power trait, the hip power ability. You see Church has 88, I'm sorry guys, I'm fighting an ear infection, but 88 hip power for Church here, and 80 for Sensible. So it kind of just depends on what you want at that position. If you want more of a run stopping dude, go ahead with Church. More of a big play opportunity, go ahead with Sensible. Free safety. This is the dude that's going to be in the middle of your defense. That's why I got Brandon Carr here at free safety. And at the corners I got Jenkins and Claiborne. You could do Scandrick if you think he's better. I personally just don't think he's better than Claiborne or Jenkins. Now at the linebacker positions, this is where it gets tricky. This is where you have to listen. If you come out in a straight 4-4, then that 4th linebacker that is normally going to be a safety is going to be another middle linebacker. So your outside linebackers are always going to be outside. But when you audible from 4-3 stack into 4-4, what happens is the linebacker, this linebacker right here, the left outside linebacker will go to a middle linebacker position. That's why I got Bruce Carter here. And then I've got Sean Lee here, and I've got Ernie Sims here. So that way they're all in optimal positions. And then we've got Sensible coming down. Now at the defensive line position, you want to go ahead and put your 2 best pass rushers over here, Spencer and Ware. And then you want to have Hatcher, the #1 defensive tackle, will be your fastest, most explosive one. And then the second string one, more of a run stopping one. So if I was the Buccaneers back in 2000, this would be Warren Sapp here. And then their other beefy dude would be here. As you see, Dallas's version of that, I'm going to have Hatcher here, and I'm going to have Ralph here. So there's the depth chart. There's the audibles. And now we're going to get into the scheme. Alright guys, So here we are going over the defense, and one of the things you need to know, guys, is a lot of things you have to do to set this up, and that's why I don't know if I should really. Basically, let's just go over this. Basically, you're going to come out in 4-3, any 4-3 formation. Now, I do need to go over this. If you come out in the 4-3 or 4-3 under, you need to come out in the safety swap package. So right stick and go over to the safety swap, and then you want 43. That's going to be sense ball. You want him always on the right. So from the over plus, you're going to come out in that. You want him in the safety swap. So that way, when you audible into 4-4, everyone's in their optimal position. So now let's go over. So the basic of your base formation would be any 4-3 play. I'm not even going to go over that because I've already gone over that. I'm just going to go over audibling into 4-4. So the main play, the play that I personally have in my audibles is this 2 deep play, and you always want to. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I didn't do the quick links. My bad. One sec, guys. But in my personal audible set, I have the 2 deep. Now, in the one I'm going to give you for this exclusive 4-4, I have other audibles, and I will go over how to run those plays. Like I said, with Dallas, it works better to run just 4-4. But your base setup every time for anything that we do out of 4-4 is you're going to base a line, and you're going to press coverage. Then you're going to spread the line, and then that's the basics for every blitz we will do. Okay? Now, if you go ahead and I'm going to show you how to get a gap first, and all you're going to do is you're going to re-blitz the right of screen linebacker, and then you're going to pinch them, and then you're going to put Spencer in a purple zone, and you're going to spy Jay Ratliff, and ideally you're going to shade coverage out, and you're going to use the middle with Carr. So you're going to watch the middle, and of course that time it didn't come in. My bad. Maybe I did something wrong there. Let's try it one more time. A-gaps are not consistent, guys. That's why I don't put a whole lot of stack in them, even though the 4-4 one usually is one of the better ones. There you see, Hatcher's kind of coming in, but he's getting picked up just at the last second. So he may not even be fast enough for this one. Now, the reason I say pinch the linebackers is it sets up a blitz we're gonna do later. But if you want to just globally blitz or even contain Spencer ball and leave him out wide like this, and then you could do something like this on the left side. Then the A gap may come in better. As you see, it comes in very clean that way. You actually have better coverage if you do that, because he can't run, he can't roll out. It's actually a better way to run the A gap, but in terms of the scheme, it's not better because it's not the same look every single time that we want to give our opponent that deception. But as you see, it does work. It does work well. That's the A gap that everyone will tell you to run from this. Where I differ with everyone else in the way I run the 4-4 is I like to pinch them and spread because it sets up another blitz I'm going to talk about a little later. But let's try and get this A gap one more time for you guys. And it's just, you may need a faster dude to run it like that. I personally haven't had any problem running that A gap blitz online, so it may just be a practice mode thing. Sometimes that happens, guys. I know it's kind of crazy, and why I say that it would be stupid, but here's the way it is. Now, the second setup I want to talk about is the 2-man A gap. It's just going to be trying to get 2-man pressure from the A gap, and if you put these dudes in purples, and I would personally put Carr over here in a flat zone, but really just know you're really wanting to cover it as if you're in a deep blue. But he's going to be the user to player. And here, as you see how Hatcher kind of gets up quick, like he's going to be an A gap. And I'm telling you guys right now, I've ran this defense all year, and that will come in as he will come straight through sometimes. Not all the time, but he will sometimes come straight in. Which is what makes the 4-4, in my opinion, so deadly. Because you can send 2-man pressure and potentially get a dude free. is you see how hard he gets upfield there. And I'm telling you right now, if you run this with the Giants or whoever else, I'm pretty sure you'll have more success, because speed does play a factor in A-gaps. As you see, he's getting there, but he's not. But you can ask Z-Boy, even if you watch the game against me and Z-Boy, and I'll link his channel in the description, but it's very clear that this defense, the blitzes come in. For whatever reason, in practice mode, where it potentially is because of Jason Hatcher's speed is only 74. And if you had someone like a JPP there, it would work even better. But again, guys, trust me, I do know what I'm talking about with this 4-4. Just trust these setups. Those are the two base defenses, and I call those passive pressure defenses. Now we're going to get into the more aggressive version of this scheme. This blitz is edge pressure, and all we're going to do is globally blitz the right of screen linebacker, pinch them, spread line, crash them out, re-blitz where, and then all you're going to do is contain Spencer and spy Ratliff. It's the same concept that S. Gibbs had out, I think, at the beginning of the year, so props to him for figuring that out. And you're going to use your lead because you want to cover the side the blitz is coming from, so they don't want to throw to the user fender. You have good coverage on the left, but shout out to Gibbs real quick for figuring out that spy contain concept, and everybody's really been running that, and it's been one of the most effective ways to get pressure this year. But as you see, we're going to come off the edge, and sometimes that dude will slide over. Again, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say that the blitzes do work, potentially even a little better, without pinching the linebackers. The problem with it, though, is the blitz. One blitz I'm going to show you later. It's probably one of the best blitzes in the game this year, and it's crucial that you pinch the linebackers. It also makes our A-gaps even more effective. And real quick, I'm just going to show you the blitz. I'm not going to show you the setup. I'm just going to show you the blitz. I want to show you why. As you saw, we're going to get that edge, and then that's quick edge pressure. And Hatcher, for some reason, guys, Hatcher's just not getting in right now. I don't know what it is. Sometimes you have to click on, click off. Maybe even have to be on the safety. And for whatever reason, he does not want to come in. But there you see we get A-gap. So trust me, the pitching of the linebackers is very important, which is why I don't put much stock in these edge pressures. But I do run them. And what you could do also is you could spy Spencer, contain Ratliff, re-blitz where. If it's not, as you see there, that's clean pressure. So for the writing of this, the written setup portion, I'm going to go ahead and say spy Spencer, contain Ratliff. But you could also, maybe if you really needed to, say they're running screens, get away with this. Most of the time it will still come in. Sometimes though it won't, so just know that. So one last time. And there's the edge. That's the edge pressure from the right side. Now if we want to send edge pressure from the left side, here's all we're going to do is we're just going to do the same thing. We're just going to do it flipped. So again, we just re-blitz that backer. And you don't even have to re-blitz Spencer, but I like to. Just make sure he's coming up the field. And as you see there, he kind of it's a split blitz where the dude will just kind of freak out, and that's what we need. Now I wonder if it's... I've actually gone back and forth with this 4-4 as to whether or not to run it without the lineman spread, but I don't know. You guys be the judge of that. 4-4 can be ran in a lot of ways, guys, as I told you before. It just really can. There you see the centers. The center's the key, and that's why, for some reason, a lot of people who run the 4-4 or who have ran it will tell you to be on the safety because it makes the blitzes work better. I personally don't care how quick the pressure is versus how good my coverage is behind it. But that's just my personality. But as you see, and I'm telling you guys, in game it will be different. If you guys don't believe me, just hit up Zan or hit up Gibbs or hit up anybody that's played this game a lot this year, and they'll tell you that edge pressure or any blitz has been kind of funky in practice mode. Now here's another blitz. This is just sending two-way heat, and there you see we come very clean there. The center will slide over for some reason in practice mode, but in the real game you get pressure, trust me. What you could do is you could also spread them and then blitz them, and then see how quick of a blitz angle they get now. So now they kind of come quicker at the quarterback, but that's just something you could add on. What I did there was I spread the linebackers and blitzed them, and then I pinched them. So now I had a little nicer of a blitz angle. Here's the A-gap with that same blitz. As you see, it just, for whatever reason, that blitz doesn't work as good the way when you pinch them versus spread, but it still works. Now, if I were to pinch the linebackers and then re-blitz, let's try that real quick, because that may be the setup. Maybe I wrote it down wrong when I was taking notes on the 4-4. When I was writing down what I was labbing. No, it's the same thing. So, for whatever reason, that A-gap is kind of weird. But I'm telling you guys, that A-gap, you're going to have a lot of success with it. And I'm telling you, the first time you sack a dude blitzing this many people, you're literally going to just scream. See, there it comes. There's the A-gap from Hatcher. Two-man pressure really quick at the quarterback. And as soon as you guys do that, you're going to be thanking me for teaching you the 4-4 defense. But so again, here's the two-man. See how he kind of wants to slip in, and it may just be because of Hatcher's size. I know it sounds crazy, guys, but it really does have something to do with the way the blitzes work this year. That's how weird Madden 13 is. For whatever reason, the blitzes they're not as good as they have been. They're not as consistent. But when you can potentially get pressure with two people like that, you're looking at maybe one in a range of 1 to 5, minimum of 1 second, maximum of probably 5 to throw the ball. So, and then there's the standard A-gap that I showed you at the beginning of the video. So we've gone over edge pressure, we've gone over A-gap pressure right. Let's go over A-gap pressure left real quick. And Ryan Dykes is actually the dude who kind of found it. We were both working on the 4-4 scheme, and he had mentioned left A-gap, but I was like, well, what do you mean? I haven't found left A-gap. And all he does is, I think he does this. I think he can take Carter and contain him, and then re-blitzes Ratliff, and then he zones this side. So as you see, Ratliff, that's actually a more consistent one, but I don't know, because most people will slide to the right. So I would actually recommend starting with that A-gap, because most people who slide protect to the right, that won't pick up this A-gap. Only aggressive will. My setup is I'll do my standard stuff, and then I'll re-blitz Ratliff. So it's just everything we did on the right side with me re-blitzing Ratliff. And I think that one works better for that side of A-gap than it does for the right. It's more consistent on the left. For whatever reason, real quick, we can try this. I haven't labbed this, but since I'm on topic, go ahead and try re-blitzing Hatcher from the right. And as you see, it makes it a little better, but I would definitely leave Hatcher on his standard blitz angle for the two-man, because the two-man, if you blitz him straight up, the guard's going to be right there. He's going to be going right into the guard. But you see, when you get that right there, the guard just kind of goes after the tackle, or the end, I mean, and it is a really good blitz. It's pretty consistent. You'll get it probably 3 times a game if you run it 10. No, I said that wrong. You probably won't get it 3 times a game if you run it 10. Now let's talk about the blitz. And this is the blitz I go to when I need pressure. This is the blitz I've gone to all year when I need to let people know that I have a blitz that it literally can get there in 2 seconds. And here it is. It's basically just A-gap left and A-gap, as if you were setting up A-gap left and A-gap right. So all you're going to do is re-blitz your both outside linebackers, and you're going to pinch them. Then you're going to re-blitz right left. That's all you're going to do for your blitz. And then what I like to do for my zones is I'll just put them in maybe a purple, or most of the time a hook. I mostly just put them on a hook, and then I'll use in the middle. And as you see, this pressure just screams at the quarterback from Spencer. And the A gap usually comes in from Hatcher. Let's try just re-blitzing Hatcher this time. You see this time Ware comes off. So basically, whatever if you want to come from the left real quick, you'll re-blitz. If you want left A gap and right C gap from Ware, so if you want Ware to come free, then re-blitz both tackles, and then Ware will come. Ware will come with that A gap. So if they aggressive, but basically what happens is you've established A gap, so now they're going to be aggressiving. And as you see, now you're coming from the edge really quick. So they're going to have to block the dude, and then that's when you can mix in your double edge pressure. But this is one of the best blitzes because of how quick it gets there. And that's the thing, is it literally, it's time to, as you see there, it's sometimes difficult to get the pass off. I mean, no receiver had broken out, and that's what makes it so good, is this blitz right here. In my opinion, is probably one of the best blitzes in the game. Now, so that does it for the blitzing aspect portion of the video. We've gone over left gap. Excuse me. We've gone over left A gap, right edge, left edge, double edge, the money blitz, and now we're going to go over passive pressure and coverage Ds. So, actually, no, we need to go over these other plays. Cover 3, you run it the same way as 2 deep. It's the same. It's your same standard formation. Cover 1, again, that's just a man version, but it's the same stuff. Now let's go over zone blitz. Zone blitz is unique, and if you guys know Zan over at Forward Progress Madden, he put out a little video on zone blitz and make it into coverage D, and it's a very good version. All you're gonna do is widen the backers, put Spencer, and this is his exact setup, I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, I'm not even going to say it. Just go over to Forward Progress, just YouTube Forward Progress Madden and go look at his channel, and there should be a link to the 4-4 coverage D. So I'm not going to go over coverage from this. I'm going to go over how I run this play if I run it. I usually don't even have it in my audibles, because I'm usually running a mixture of the 4-3 and the 4-4. But if I was going to run this play, all I'd do is I'd re-blitz Ratliff, and then I'd re-blitz Spencer, and then now we have, we should get A-gap left. Let's see what we get here. Yep, A-gap left there. So I just run the A-gap left, and then what I'll show you guys, what happens is, when they block line aggressive, I think, if I remember correctly, from all the stuff I did on it earlier on in the year, what should happen is this dude should come in. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, so you get edge pressure. So basically, and that's why I like to leave those dudes over on the right side blitzing, because if they do get you with the aggressive and it's a different coverage that they haven't seen before, then you're going to come right on in with the A-gap left. Or not A-gap left, but edge left. And then here's what I'm going to do. If I want to send it from the right, then all I'm going to do is re-blitz Ware this time. Put Sims in a hook, put Carr in a purple, make sure Carr is going to the right in his purple zone. And then that's all I'm going to do. Again, spread the line, of course. And, of course, we have to pinch our linebackers. I forgot to mention that. Actually, no, we don't. Out of zone blitz, you don't want to pressure your linebackers. You want to leave them as they are. And so now you're just coming left, right, A-gap. Same setup, same concepts. If they block line aggressive, you have edge pressure. So, real quick, one more time. Oh, you need to always re-blitz Ratliff, though. That was a mistake I made. You always re-blitz Ratliff, even if you're not coming from the left. Because of the blitz angle he's currently on. See, now you get edge pressure there. So that's how I do it. That's how I do zone blitz. Now let's go over the dog zone blitz. And this is just the run D. If you really need a run defense or a run stop, all you're going to do is just re-blitz everyone. So re-blitz Spencer. No, you're not going to re-blitz. No. I said that wrong. So this is what you have. You're just going to re-blitz Ratliff, and then you're going to spy Carr and shade coverage in. you're going to use your car. And go ahead and leave your linebackers standard. And basically, there's just nowhere. There's going to be nowhere for them to go. If they do snap it, then you're going to have standard A-gap pressure from the backer that can't be slip protected against. And so you're going to have pressure. The only problem with this blitz is it's not really made for a pass D. It's quick pass D, but primarily going to be a run D. So that's all I'm going to be doing from that play. Now let's go over the coverage D. And all I'm going to do with coverage D is I'm going to shade the coverage out, and I'm going to put car in a deep blue. And then I'm going to spread the line. I'm going to crash it up. No, I'm not. Reset that. No, don't crash the line up. You're just going to spread it. Do that. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take Carter. Again, you need to pitch your line. I'm going to take Carter and put him in a purple. Put Sensible in a purple. Put Ratliff in a hook zone. Spencer in a flat zone. And D Ware is the only blitzer. We're going to put Hatcher in a flat zone and user Hatcher up the middle seam. As you see, they're not going to, you're going to get a block shed eventually real quick, but you're looking at maybe 3 to 5 seconds. That's DeMarcus Ware, and there's really nowhere to go, but I rarely ever do that. I'll just be honest. What I mainly do is I'll run the 2-man. If I want coverage D from the 4-4, I'll just run the I'll just run the 2-man pressure and put Carr in a flat left or to the right and just use her in the middle of the field myself. And so that's the 4-4 setups in a nutshell. And we'll have a full game breakdown how we run it. Oh, real quick, out of zone blitz, here's something that you may not have known. If you spread the line and crash them up and then just reblitz the ends and then put Sims and whatever, I usually like to put him in a flat and then use the right side of the field. Also shading coverage in. So just call zone blitz, spread line, crash them up, or crash out, reblitz the D ends, and then put this dude who's actually blitzing, but you're going to put him in a flat zone. User Sean Lee, and you want to watch the right side of the field. And you're going to get double edge pressure here. So that's what I do from that. Real quick, if your opponent is running the read option, then you want to adjust. And how you adjust is you don't pinch the linebackers anymore. You're just going to leave them just like this, and just do all the setups are the same. It's just they're not going to be as quick. In that the pressure won't be as quick, and they'll come from different players. But your 2-man will still your 2-man won't work as well, but it will still work decently. Your 3-man will work probably even better. But that's the reason we don't do that. We leave them spread out like so, is because if they're pinched in, then there's no one to play the edge except for D Ware. And if D Ware gets sucked down, it's a touchdown. So, enough of that. So one last time, we'll show you the blitz, and then we'll get out. Again, 2 deep. All we do is spread the line, reblitz both outside linebackers, pinch them, and just reblitz Ratliff. And then put these dudes in yellows most of the time. And the pressure comes in about 2 seconds. Most of the time, Hatcher will come through on the A-gap as well, if they don't block aggressive. And if they do block aggressive, then you should get right side. Or like I said, you should get Ratliff. So that's the important part, is that's what I remembered. It's right. If they do block line aggressive, they're going to pick up the right side A-gap. But the problem is, as you see here, the left side still comes hot. And it's either going to be from Spencer or Ratliff. It kind of picks your poison for you. So they're picking up your quick pressure. Run this blitz, and you'll get pressure quick. You're kind of selling out, but they're not going to have time to get the ball deep on you. So, but that's the 4-4 setups, guys, and I'll put this up for the scheme of the week. This is the defensive breakdown, so I appreciate you guys checking it out. And I'll see you back real quick for the offensive breakdown. See you guys.